Hello guys, welcome once again to the channel. If it is the first time you come across this channel, remember to subscribe, like and also comment. Guys, I normally say that if you are looking for best couples, just visit a Jamaican. Actually Jamaica, when you find a lady, when you find a man in Jamaica, they have that love. So they will love you systematically. They don't pretend laughing. That is why in this video I have some couples here. One is from Nigeria who call her fiancé from Jamaica. And actually when you will hear about their history, you will not concur with me, but you will agree with me that actually Jamaica is the place to choose your couple. It's a place that ladies have been raised in such a manner that they are well, they stay that life that they are loving. And I know that there are many things these people normally do. Cooking, actually ladies from Jamaica know how to cook. And also men in Jamaica have that equality. They know how to care their ladies. But here I have that man who have got fiancé from Jamaica, and he feels proud because the way you will see the conversation as he talks about her fiancé, how they met, and how the her fiancé what she has done upon her life. You will feel that actually Jamaica is a place that they normally care their people. Respect is there, but the parents actually parenting in Jamaica is something that I salute for them because they know how to parent their children. They know how to raise their children. They know how to feed that knowledge to their children. Actually, as I was seeing most of the Jamaican ladies, they speak proud. They are proud of themselves. They are bold. They they are not like other African countries where we have ladies, when you talk to them they are shy. But these Jamaican ladies are proud and are bold. They go to the straight point. They talk to you in the reality. They don't hide anything. They speak the reality. And that is why let us uh, be able to watch these conversations, and you will see how these Jamaicans are, and you will see the love these Jamaicans have shown. Guys, let us watch this video until the end. And I urge that if you haven't subscribed to this channel, just subscribe. And also my gratitude goes to the original creators of this video. Let us watch this video until the end.
Thank you. How are you, Isaiah?
Good. You go first, babe.
Okay, so I'm Jamaican. I was born in Jamaica and I moved to the States when I was 5, just turning 3. We moved to New York and we've lived here for the rest of my life, basically, in New York, Westchester County. And I grew up in a Jamaican home. So there was a culture within the culture. We went to a Jamaican church. And so Jamaica was my life, even though I was in New York and westernized and going to school here. Going home, it was Jamaica. We had a Jamaican food, and then church took up my life. So it was a culture within the culture. A lot of people can identify with that.
All right. Well, I was born in London, England, and then I moved to Nigeria when I was about 6 years old. I stayed in Nigeria all the way through my tertiary education, and then I came to the United States to finish up the tertiary education, university, college, as they say here. And then I started working here, and I've been working here ever since.
Well, I met Yemi at church. We met at church, and it was a Sunday evening service. And we were seated. We got seated by the usher, my aunt and myself, in his row. And I was sitting at the end of the row. My aunt was sitting next to me, and then Yemi was sitting next to her. And then she just nudged me. She's like, Kamina, look at this guy. He's a worshiper. And he was just singing and worshiping, and he was cute. So it was
Was.
very no, still is. He's handsome now. He was cute then, but he's handsome now. And I loved how he worshiped, and he was a good looking guy as well. And so that's what kind of drew me to him initially when we met at church. I first saw him, but then for a series of Sundays after that, she would engage in conversation with him, and she would try and get me from like the other side of the room to like come. She would hold him there and talk to him, and then try and get my eye to like come on over here and talk to this guy here. And eventually I came over one Sunday while she was talking to him, and that's when we actually had a face-to-face conversation. But I think you saw me one day going to the bathroom, and then we actually said hi to each other. And then from
Not in the
there,
bathroom, going to clarify.
just to clarify, our church had Saturday morning prayer, and after prayer, our pastor would take like the young people out, and we would go and eat. And so we would always seem to find ourselves seated next to each other, and so we would
Okay.
kind of like had group dates before we actually had our first date. Hmm.
I I tried to look for my wife for a long time. Dated quite a few women. I wasn't a player. Some people thought I was a player. I wasn't a player. I was just looking for my wife. Yeah, I was just looking for my wife. And I went from church to church. To be honest with you, I even went to the clubs to try and find her, and I just was not successful. And when I was frustrated with God. I was like, God, I've been trusting you, trying to find my wife all this time, and I can't find her. And then I said, you know what, God, I just give it to you. I'm not even trying anymore. I just give it to you. And being very honest, the almost like the second Sunday after I said that, gave it up to God, that's when an usher sat me 2 seats away from my wife right now. And I just saw the way she was worshiping, and something just connected with me. I was like, wow, that's a worshiping woman, and I love to worship God. So I started trying to explore it, and she was, look at her, she's beautiful. So I started trying to follow her, and try to
He would
find my
stare at
way.
me from you got on the choir, and he would stare at me from the choir stands.
Exactly. Like Kamina said, we do all these group dates. There was a few younger people at the church, and we do these group dates, and we just, be inviting people. And one day when we went out to eat, I just sat next to her, and it was the Spanish Inquisition. I was just asking her all kinds of questions to see if, I should pursue this lady, and the rest, as they say, is history.
I still have the stub. We went to, everyone knows Joel Osteen, and his church would have in New Jersey, they'd have like a night of worship. I forgot what it's called, or a night of love, or something like that. And that was our first date. We went to one of Joel Osteen's concerts, not even concerts. It was like a church service, and I still have the stub. It's faded now, and that was we sat next to each other and we worshiped together. It sounds kind of corny.
No,
No, but it's
sounds
not.
very holy.
I
Holy
was
people.
about to say,
We probably did.
I don't recall.
I don't think so,
So
but I'm
long
like,
ago.
I don't know. That was the most that we have not gone to like a church service as a date. We went to like movies and stuff like that after that, but that was the first date.
Approved.
Yeah. Besides what drew me to him, which is his love for worship and God, he's my personal comedian. Like he cracks me up. He is just funny. I find him funny for me. And so I love that. That's my favorite thing about him, aside from the God piece, is that he's my personal comedian. I love that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, same here. I dated quite a few females, and I couldn't worship with them. They're not bad people. I'm not saying they were not holy or whatever, but I just wasn't comfortable worshiping with them. So Kamina was the first person that I dated that I found it comfortable worshiping with. So that's one thing. And then the second thing is she's very patient. She's very patient with me. I like to call myself a recovering moodaholic. So I'm a work in progress. You know what I'm saying? And she was very patient with me and is always patient with me as I work through that. So that's one of the things that I love about her because it's not easy to deal with me. Even I know that.
Why don't you take this one?
Well, there was a serious one actually. When we were dating, we dated for quite a while, and I'm very analytical. I'm a CPA by background, and I was just trained to be very analytical. And unfortunately, I brought that into who would be my spouse, my wife forever. And I was overly analytical, so I think I was too analytical for Kamina because I was taking too long to,
He couldn't make up his mind if he wanted to be with me. He was still determining.
I was
So
waiting.
we broke up. I broke up with him, and it was kind of like, okay, until you figure out what it is you want, I'm just going to step away because I know what I want. But if you're unsure and you're analyzing, then you need to analyze by yourself, kind of thing. But I also sent him a text, which was very strong text that just verbal that said how I felt and how I felt that he needs to kind of make up his mind. But in that text, and I don't remember exactly what it said, he misunderstood a, something that I wrote as a curse. Like in Nigerians, they have, I don't want to say superstitions, they have certain words mean certain things. And so if you say a certain word, they can say like you're trying to curse, like literally curse the family, not like an FU kind of a curse, but like a curse on the family.
Okay.
And so he immediately saw that, thought I was cursing him as a person, went to my pastor, our pastor, and basically like, look
Oh,
what this woman is. It blew up into a whole thing, but it was actually all God led. I think
Yeah.
it was a catalyst that brought us back together, and the pastor came in and actually mentored him like a good month or two and broke down that analytical mind to show him you need to kind of put that aside, and God has showed you this is the person for you, and you just need to get off your tush and move forward.
oh,
What was it?
I don't know. I can't remember, but it was something like may God rebuke you or something like that. That's the way it's interpreted.
okay.
In
Okay.
I remember the interpretation was something like may God rebuke you. Those who are from Nigeria is the equivalent of saying waka, something like that, right? Nigerians would
Okay.
understand what I'm saying. you know. And when she said that, I was like, oh, heck no. Moving on, yeah. I mean, this ain't the one. Ain't no woman I'm marrying gonna be. Was a miss.
So,
That was,
It's like through the filter. People hear things through their own filter, and so I'm just saying him like I'm fed up around. You're playing games. I'm not here to play. You need to figure out what you want to do, and he is interpreted as I'm cursing him. And so
just go on in Nigeria.
so
on a very minor uh note, like when it comes to food, and if I'm dishing out food to well, one thing that there's an expectation that like the woman takes care of the food in the household all the time. And I grew up in a household where my father cooked as well. My mom cooked the majority of the time, but my dad is a great cook, and he would cook. He cooked soup. The men are sometimes like the best cooks in the family. Exactly. And so daddy would cook, and the expectation is that the women basically do all of that domestic life. And I came into it like we doing 50-50 kind of a thing. And so he was like, huh? What? And so there had to be, there's some getting used to it. And I adapted more. And even now with as raising a family with children, you even have to adapt more because you got to cook for them as well. But the expectations of taking care of that. And I know, like, sometimes he would say, like, I would say, what would you like? And he'd want, like, say, jollof and stew. And that's like the gravy. And so I'd give him jollof and stew. But in his culture, it's already known that means you need to add the meat. But I'm like, but you didn't say you wanted meat. You said you wanted jollof
Oh.
and stew. So I'm giving you jollof and stew. And he's like, no, babe, but you have to add the meat. And I'm like, so then ask for the meat if you want the meat. But in their culture, it's already known that you're supposed to add the meat. So jollof and stew means jollof, stew, and meat. It's just one of those little minor things where it was literally like culturally like.
I mean, who cooks stew without meat? I mean,
But I'm thinking, I'm like, really? That's all you just want jollof and stew?
You gotta have the
Okay,
meat.
I'll give you jollof and stew. That's
you gotta
what
have
you
the
want.
meat up in the joint. So the meat is a given, right? But just to balance that, I don't want thinking the Nigeria's misogynistic, country or anything. The men, it's just a cultural thing. At least I don't know what goes on now with the younger generations, but the men would take care of things like the roof, the generator, the cars, the garden, and all of that, right? All of those types of things, right? And then the woman would take care of the house, or at least manage taking care of the house because we had house helps and things like that. So I don't know. I guess victim of my environment. I was expecting, you know, I didn't expect that she wouldn't just fall into it. So it was just unexpected and it caused a little consternation in the beginning. But we had a conversation and then we started
Conversations.
conversations. And then we got to a healthy place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cooked.
He has cooked in the past. Mhm.
Well, my favorite Jamaican food is jerk chicken. Jerk chicken. I don't know where that came from, but that joint's off the chain. And that's just a favorite. Some of the others, not so much. I like what's that thing? Aki and saltfish.
Mhm.
Aki and saltfish. My doctor doesn't like it for me, but
Good.
but I like it. And is chicken back Jamaican?
I mean, it is, but not. It's not one of our like popular dishes.
Okay,
We don't
it's not something that we eat of the chicken back.
Well, my favorite is, of course, the jollof rice. I love the jollof rice, and I love the spinach stew. And what we both share is they call it dodo, and for us, it's just fried plantain. So it's the same thing. So you give me some of the jollof rice. We got some spinach stew and dodo plantain. Love it. Spicy jollof. It's the medium spicy jollof because they are extremes. There's like for the kids, and then there's like woof, what he eats, which is like to the 10th power. Well, so every Christmas we have a Jamaican Christmas at my sister's house. Or it could be at my mom's house, but Christmas is always a Jamaican Christmas where we have all of the traditional Jamaican food. We have ackee and saltfish, we have kalaloo, we've got um, bully beef, my brother-in-law's famous fried dumpling, we've got ground provisions, and then we got like eggs and stuff for the kids, but we always have the traditional Jamaican Christmas.
But you don't have liver.
Yes, Marsha made liver a couple years ago.
Liver, okay.
Yeah, or kidney. We don't
So the
typically have
liver, we don't eat that for breakfast. In fact, we don't even eat it for dinner. Lunch. the liver just.
The gravy is wonderful. You just have to cook it down and it's nice and sweet.
I wish you'd asked me about the worst Jamaican food. I think it's the liver.
And you didn't have the right one.
That
Trust,
joint
it
make no
was-
sense.
No, you haven't had the right one. We have that. So typically, Christmas is always at my sister's Christmas morning, and we come home. But he typically spends Christmas like 2 weeks during December with his family, and then he comes back
In Nigeria.
and then he comes back Christmas Eve or 2 days before Christmas, and then spends Christmas here. So
Okay.
he gets the best of both worlds. We've been very fortunate and blessed that it's really been a seamless kind of transition and a seamless merging of the families and the cultures. It's funny. Yemi had a spice in his drawer. It was called Jamaican Nigerian like pepper, which is almost like Yeah.
Nigerian Jamaican hot devil pepper.
Oh, that's what. Okay, it was not devil pepper, but it's almost like a symbol of how well the cultures go together, and also within the culture, because we come from a background of belief in God and Christianity and really a faith in God, his side of the family and my side of the family, they're so similar that it was such a seamless transition. We laugh. My father's name is Brian and his father's name is Bryant. They have almost the exact same personality, laid back. They almost look similar. It's just hilarious. Our mothers get along, they call each other separately, have their own relationship going on. And so we have been so blessed to have such a meshing of the families
Mhm.
seamlessly. And even with
Uh,
his sister and with my family, we understand and know that there are many issues with in laws. And fortunately, thank God, we don't have that. You go.
I mean, not really. I was just joking, saying because I just like the way it sounds. What is that thing I say? Me lickle but me talawa or something like that.
He's been saying it as of late, and I'm like, okay.
I just like the way it sounds. I don't know. Me lickle but me talawa.
From Westmoreland.
Yeah, me from Westmoreland. But the thing is, I think I know how to speak some semblance of patois, but she tells me I sound Irish when I speak patois, so she dissuaded me from speaking. Yeah, no, absolutely. The main one is Pickney. I think that's what you guys call children.
Mm-hmm.
So in
Yeah.
Pidgin English, which I speak very well, is Pekin. So
mm,
so Pekin and Pickney, that's one. That's the main one, really, that I think.
But if I listen to him talking in his pidgin English, I can understand 90% of what he's saying because it's
That's
kind
because
of
I don't
similar.
go deep. If I went deep, you wouldn't understand the slang.
but he but it's very, I don't say, there are a lot of similarities. There are differences, but there are more similarities than there are
yeah.
differences. And one of the things I've picked up is they add o at the end of a lot of sentences, and so it's like, or a lot of the words. So I'll say like yes so, or I'll say no wahala. Don't give me the wahala. Don't give me the wahala.
Every Nigerian is laughing right now the way she says it.
So when I talk to my kids, I'm like, what's all this wahala?
That
So,
is
and then adding
hilarious.
the O. Yes, so ameno.
Yeah, yeah. No, she's been twice.
Mm-hmm.
And the main thing I wanted her to experience was our culture. And part of how I wanted her to experience it was through a traditional wedding, a Nigerian traditional wedding, especially a Yoruba traditional wedding. And we went to one. And funny story, we were what we call an owambe, which is basically a big party, like a block party type thing, but for the wedding. And there's this thing we call moi moi, and you don't typically eat that outside, especially at an owambe, if you're not, inculcated in the culture, because I don't know, I won't go into it, but the different bacteria in the different countries. Anyway, I was telling her she shouldn't eat it, but she thought I was trying to watch her plate or something like that. So she ate it,
I ate it
and
off of your plate. I just
yeah, I
tasted it.
mean, I've got the bacteria. I can handle Nigerian food, but it was her first time. So anyway, she ate it, and she was bedridden for a week, much to my mom's chagrin.
And just
As you
and
can
just
imagine.
jollof rice, dodo, KFC.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. So she had a little PTSD from that experience, but managed to get her back
Hmm.
another time, and she had some fun
I had a
there.
great time. Yeah.
But I wanted her to experience what we call dobale, which is or it's curtsying, for the women, curtsying before elders. But when she got there, she was just bowing before people like a Japanese person. I'm like, babe, it's not
Well,
bowing
I
like
didn't
a.
understand fully.
Supposed to bend your knees, just bend your knees a little,
It's like
just
a little
bend your.
curtsy. I was learning. I was trying to be respectful of the culture, and
It was just comical to see.
dip, and I was going like that.
Yeah.
So yes, we have gone to Jamaica many times. We actually went twice this year, last as late as August of this year. And I think the main thing for me, culture, not even necessarily culturally, but just the beauty of our island. When you when you step off the plane and you hear the music, and for me it's just like, you're home, and just experiencing the beauty of Jamaica and the culture and the music and the food in Jamaica. Of course, you can always get Jamaican food out here, but when you get your jerk chicken in Jamaica, it's just different. The getting the festival in Jamaica, it's different. And I think he definitely got that experience and keeps getting that experience every time we go back. To learn how to dance. When Nigerians dance, it's just like on another level. To be able to move like that, oh my gosh, that would be phenomenal. And then cooking. But the cooking takes so long. It takes so long to cook. When you cook it authentically,
It's the dancing. I'm amazed at uh, Jamaican women, especially, how they dance, and that's a superpower. I got my blessed wife. I would have. She can dance. She can dance. She's got rhythm anything. But some of them, they're at PhD level. And on, I'm watching TV. Thank you.
I'm like, I am up late, but I do fall asleep, yes.
And in the evening.
I guess me.
Yeah.
I power through because I got to do what I got to do anyway. So he doesn't really get sick.
Not.
A dish that's served at dinner.
I heard the question.
Oh.
Winston from How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
Oh my word.
McGarvey. Something McGarvey.
Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey. I put it together. McGarvey, Marcus Garvey. Yeah, Marcus Garvey. Bad.
No. I would say, for me, communication. Communication is key. And talking through what your expectations are in that relationship or in that marriage, or hopefully before the marriage happens, because as you grow up, you have your own cultures in your home, and so now you have two different cultures coming together, and so everyone already has an expectation of what marriage should look like or relationship should look like. And so it's important to discuss what your expectations are, because then it opens the door for the discussions that if you're not on the same page, then you can talk through it. Okay, how do we resolve it? If you're expecting me to cook all the time and I am expecting 50-50, where do we need to compromise? And so you can mitigate a lot of potential issues that could come up in a relationship or a marriage if you talk about your expectations and then put them on the table and then address it beforehand. So I feel having communication is really, really key. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, and I would say effective communication, because some people think just because they're saying things or they're sound biting, that doesn't mean you're having effective communication. So it's got to be effective communication where one person is speaking, the other person is listening to understand, not to draw up a defense, but to understand. And then to just add to what my wife said here, I would say patience. Patience is key, because marriage can be challenging in itself, right? Whether even if you're from the same culture, and then when when you bring other complexities like bringing in a different culture, we're all victims of the cultural environment we grew up in. When you bring 20 or 30 plus years of one cultural environment, bring 20, 30 plus years of another cultural environment, you smush them together and expect harmony. It's unrealistic, right? So there's going to be patience. There's going to be a need for patience as the two cultures try to be in harmony. And I'm going to go, a little spiritual here and say, the Bible says, how can two walk together unless they agree? Right. So that agreement, that word sounds like a simple word, but it's a big word when it comes to marriage. It's a big word. Agree on your direction, agree on your mission, agree on your purpose, agree on so many levels as a couple, because you're partners. You're not two. You're partners in the journey of life. And then the last thing I'll say is the Bible says the two shall become one flesh, which means you're unified. There's no other relationship where the two become one flesh. You're not one flesh with your parents. You're not one flesh with your children. You're not one flesh with your siblings. The only relationship that God was intentional about by saying the two shall become one flesh was in the institution of marriage. So God is very intentional about it. So when you're from two different cultures and you're coming together and you believe that it's God ordained and God brought you together, find a way for you to get in agreement. There's the compromise. There's a whole bunch of things that you need with patience. Compromise as well. And that's what the definition of love is: selflessness. Not what have you done for me lately, but what have I done for you lately? Don't get me started now.
Don't
Give
get
me
him
a mic.
started.
Give me a mic.
You know, it's funny because within his culture, or I should say within the culture of his family, which I found was very
Interesting.
interesting, the way he says goodbye is God bless. Like when he gets off the phone with his parents, his mother, his father, and when they come off the phone with me, they say, okay, God bless. And oh, okay, God bless. Yes.
Oh, this is all lovey dovey with her family. But really, what intrigues me is how you greet one another. It'll be, you say good night when it's evening, and good night where I'm from means bye. but you guys are saying hi. Yes, that I still can't get used to Lekoma.
No.
She doesn't speak patois with me.
Welcome once again to the channel. As you have heard that conversation, there is something that you have learned from these people, and there is something that you have seen that actually these Nigerian people, when he decided to fix in Jamaica to find her lover there, there are some of the qualities he saw to this lady, and these are some of the things that Jamaicans have. They are bold, they are eloquent, they are proud of themselves. They they speak when normal their reality. They don't hide anything. They speak uh, with truth. They don't. The most of them they are not like Africans. They are jokers. They are not jokers. If it is at the point, they speak to the point. If you take them, if the lady loves you, she will tell you she loves you, and if she doesn't love you, she will also tell you not to mingle there, and there. You straight to the point. And actually, if you read their patois language, like how they speak, you will feel that joy of having a lady or being married to Jamaica, and that is why many foreigners are going back to Jamaica to intermarry to have wives there. So guys, if you have any reaction, any comment, just drop the comment in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed, just subscribe to this channel and drop your comment, and also give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys. Let us meet to the next video.